Hello, everyone. Welcome to a very special episode 25 of Past, Present, and Future. We have with us the CEO of Olympian Motors, Eren. Great to have you on the show.
Hey, Paras. Thanks for visiting us today, and thanks for coming in. Happy to be with you.
So let's take it from the beginning. We have a lot to dive into with Olympian Motors. We'd love to learn about the beginnings of your career and kind of your introduction to the automotive industry and to this fascinating world.
Sure. So I'm an electronics engineer. So started my career in Ford's R&D department, and then switched to a career in finance and had a chance to experience and understand how the investment and the buy side world actually works. And then I came back to the engineering role with Qualcomm in the semiconductor industry. Spent years on developing autonomous driving technologies, implementing them with automakers, satellite connectivity, augmented reality, and AI-accelerators. So that was like I had a chance to experience the frontier tech at Qualcomm. But realizing all that, there were a few observations I was able to make. Number one, the supply chain in advanced tech industry is very fragmented and no one has a complete control. So all the brand names, Apple, it might be a Microsoft, Xbox, or whatsoever, right? Any hardware device, the supply chain is so fragmented or so complex and international, right? That was one obvious, or it's obvious, but for me, it was one thing to note. And number two, I realized the importance of being a generalist. Right, especially in the age of AI today, where we can count that intelligence is being more and more commoditized. I think the person who is able to connect the dots across hardware, software, manufacturing, blue-collar organizations, and cash flow. And then when you are able to connect these dots into each other, then you have a functional organism. It could be a small organism like us as a startup company, Olympian Motor. It might be as large as like Tesla today. But the magical thing is to get that organism starting, running and surviving. That's what we do at Olympian Motors. And today it's our Olympian Motors is more now, we founded in 2021 officially. Now we have more than 5 years old, 4.5 years old company. Started basically in a small office space like any other startup, basically. But today we are excited to take one step closer to go to market shipment of our vehicles, and of course introducing that beautiful Art Deco Model 01 to the market very soon.
That's incredible. And I think something you mentioned, which is kind of a useful career nugget, is the ability to understand different disciplines and to kind of adopt a beginner's mindset because you had experience in these different domains, it's allowed you to see the industry, not just from an engineering perspective, but from a business perspective, from a consumer perspective, from a factory, from a blue collar perspective, which is definitely very powerful and been definitely very useful for any entrepreneur or someone earlier on in their career to chase and go after kind of diverse set of experiences, because that really kind of gives you a strong grounding. Love to talk about kind of some of the philosophy kind of Olympian and kind of what really sets the brand and the product apart from everything out there. And I think it's some groundbreaking stuff. So love to hear about that.
Absolutely right. So at Olympian Motors, we first of all, right. Let's start with automotive industry today. When you look at all the cars outside, you will realize a very standardized, increasingly standardized designs, increasingly monochromatic colors, and a lot of display screens decorated the entire interior cabin, and they are packaging you as 2026 modern, right, vehicles. We are absolutely rejecting this mindset, right? We are believing that tech doesn't need to be like how they portrayed on Hollywood movies. Tech could be beautiful. Tech could be aesthetic too. Having advanced features and advanced technology in vehicles doesn't mean that the technology has to scream to our face. right? That's what we have in Tesla. I mean, I love Tesla. I drive Tesla. Great vehicle. But on the other side, they have a display screen, huge display screen in the cockpit. And I can't help but ask for the question, hey, someone should help me with the screen fatigue, right? Because I'm looking at screens all my day. I'm looking at my laptop, I'm looking at my smartphone screen, and then I sit in my car, I'm done with work. We work hard at Olympian Motors. I would like to see my kids and family. I get into my car. That's my personal space, my private space now. But yet I know that Tesla cameras are recording. They are recording my voice. Yes, okay, that's one privacy aspect of it. And another aspect of it, there's a large monitor out there. Not beautiful. It's not stylistic. It's not aesthetic. And it's not intuitive. So what we would like to do, we would like to reverse the direction automotive. And we said, hey, electric cars could be beautiful. We are going to bring Art Deco electric cars to the market. We will change the mindset and make them people really enjoy their drive. They should touch tactile materials, not the plastics, for example, right? So many dimensions that you would like to explore at Olympian, and we want to change that mindset. And we want to introduce Art Deco cars back to the automotive.
There's something to be said for taste, and it's like the Art Deco and kind of embracing a lot of different design aesthetics, which is really, really powerful. And there's also kind of some of the more like other stuff you've been doing in terms of personalization and kind of building build kits and allowing people in the DIY space to kind of to build their own version of their car. It's the design personalization that you're doing kind of for like in the Art Deco taste, like that alone is amazing. But you're adding like another layer of you can kind of go build something on a very reliable, highway safe vehicle that you don't have to be kind of worried that something will break down on you, because you have the power of Olympian kind of, and you're able to build your own kind of car, build your own design.
Exactly. That's like that's the exact point we are chasing with modularity, right? Behind me, you can see Olympus platform, and with vertical assembly methodology, different than horizontal assembly, which is Ford invented 7 years ago. But we are telling them, hey, you can keep things modular, like Lego pieces. We are, and you can basically assemble any vehicle with any geometry, any style, any taste, with using our platform. So it's basically bringing freedom to the automotive industry, right? It could be for passenger vehicles, but it could be for maybe specialty industrial vehicles too. So what we realize while we are developing our cars, we realize there's a lot of smoke screen in automotive. Smoke screen created by monopolies in the past 50 years, basically. And today, not only American automakers, but German automakers, Japanese automakers, these are large companies, right? And they were successful at their own time, and credit belongs to where it goes. But there is still a smoke screen created by them. What I mean by that? For example, fictitious safety rules or outdated federal safety standards, right? It's been written in 1960. No one reviewed that law. No one reviewed that clause in the past 50 years. It's just like, so that's why we ended as a forest of rules, like thousands of rules, dictates each automaker what to do. And then you have no room for creativity, by the way, has to be art. Maybe I will get creative industrially. Maybe I will make it double improvement in the labor cost, right? So because of that, rules are almost like handcuffing the industry, keeping the freedom and creative thinking at the low level. It was, of course, serving the interests of monopolies. Monopolies will never want newcomers, right? Of course, what we are seeing, but after electric vehicles being introduced to the market, it's not just being electric. Yes, battery-powered electric vehicle is one aspect of it. But Another aspect that Olympian Motors is double clicking is geometrical freedom. Compared to electric cars and traditional cars, imagine you have a fuel engine car, Audi. You drive it for 50,000 miles, and during that each 50,000 miles, each mile of that car was vibrating. It's working, right? It's always shaking. The car is always shaking. There is no stable ground because the fuel engine is also exploding, and you have to build a structure that holds that system. Brilliant. I appreciate the engineers who build that complicated systems. But as of 2026, in electric cars, that structure doesn't apply to it because that for me it's over-engineered. So, because electric cars are stable, just nothing explodes at every single time, right? It's stable, it's more compact, and you can adjust the gravity center according to your needs. There is a lot of flexibility that provides more open space inside the architecture of the vehicle. So realizing that, we said, hey, why don't we provide this platform to the entire automotive industry, not only passenger cars, but industrial vehicles, agricultural cars, right? Or it could be any other use case, right? That's what we would like to do with Olympus platform now, and that's the modularity aspect.
It's incredibly powerful, and I'll emphasize, like, yes, there's kind of restrictions, kind of with kind of the current way regulation is set up, but the platform is fully certified, safe to take on the highway, and I think what you're kind of describing is a lot of like the barriers to entry that kind of incumbents put in place, whether it's regulation, whether it is kind of being risk averse. This enables people to kind of to build something for themselves, but beyond that, this is a way to save tax dollars. This is a way for municipalities or for utility providers to get something fully electric, fully sustainable, and at a fraction of the cost of what they would pay, because monopolies also are in supply chains, and kind of the reason why it costs X amount to build a utility vehicle is because of kind of the agreements that are in place. And if you can do it yourself and you can do it reliably, and if you're, let's say, the city of Costa Mesa, and you want to kind of make your kind of your utility vehicle a certain color and a certain shape, you can do that. And I think personalization is really, really powerful kind of on this front. And this is an incredible company. The podcast, we're all about kind of providing amazing information to our fans. And today we have a little bit of a surprise. We're going to pull in an extra guest who's kind of appear and come join us. So we're going to pull in Vikash, come and join us.
Hey.
Welcome, Vikash.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Great. Thank you for joining the show. Introduce yourself.
Hey, hi everyone. This is Vikas. I am one of the engineer in Olympian Motors. I work alongside Eren. So I'm a machine learning engineer. Basically, I make these vehicles safe for our customers in terms of working on the technology and making them, safe for the customers.
I'd love to hear a little bit about kind of Olympian has a lot of great partnerships in place, and part of that is because of the software ecosystem that you're building, and kind of that, like, what I love about Olympian is you're smart about technology. You reject it when it doesn't make sense, but you use it and integrate it into building an intelligent vehicle, into building an intelligent experience, but not kind of like stuffing it in the user's face. So I'd love to hear a little bit more kind of what you're building in the software place, what that operating system looks like, the extensibility.
Sure. So our vehicles are modular, like Eren just mentioned before. It's not just from the hardware side, but also from the software side. What I mean by that is, so our technology, like, people can build mobile application and they can connect with our vehicle easily. They can do it.
Yeah, for example, open source mobile SDK, whoever would like to build their own application on this car, it could be, again, a satellite application, or it could be a mobile application, and with IoT, we have SDK, right?
Yeah. And another good part that nobody is offering in the industry at the moment is our customers can literally put their logos, they can use their UI, they can do whatever they want with the software, and Olympian Motors, we'll just call it powered by Olympian Motors. And you can use your UI, just build on top of our vehicle. So that's what we call by the modularity in the software side. And yeah.
That's amazing, because a lot of times, like even in high-end vehicles, the UIs and the software experience, the aesthetic, it's not there. They try. They try really hard, but when you're kind of mass producing a UI, you miss on what customer sensibilities are. And this gives an opportunity for companies to serve their individual customers in the UI they come to expect and they come to appreciate. It's incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely one of these things. Like if you look at high class, so-called luxury vehicles, they say, oh, we have 2026 model launch Mercedes, and then you look at it, all screens decorated on the cockpit. Like I can't understand it. Like what do you think, man? I really want to ask that question to their designer team. Probably they employ 200 people.
And it's unsafe. I mean, we all know. You check your phone for a text, and next thing you know,
Exactly. Imagine like they think it's so cool, and they put some animations on this. Dude, it's just like so 2010. Stop it, right? They think it's cool. It's not. I think what's cool, intuitive is cool, minimalistic is cool. So we also like a couple of decisions, right? We decided, hey, we are trying to replace plastics with more tactile materials as much as we can. We replace it with wood, we replace it with steel, but not plastic, because that's also another manifest that we would like to set. Cars could be beautiful, and you can touch beautiful things as well, not plastic.
I think, like for me, just thinking from my own limited vantage point into design, it's modern doesn't have to be sterile. It doesn't have to be removed. You can be driving in the California coast and feel like you're a part of the coast, and not that you're in a plastic kind of entombment or casing that kind of separates you from the experience. You can be immersed. You can have a motorcycle-esque experience still sitting with the roof up.
Right.
This is powerful and fascinating, and I will say you'll be able to see more of the cars in a separate video. The one thing I want to close on, kind of ask from both of you, I feel you have unique vantage points from different parts of the business. What would you advise to an entrepreneur starting out now in 2026 and like, I have a business idea, I'm ready to kind of start building? What would your advice be? Or something that you wish, like, hey, I wish I would have known this when I was starting out, or something that really helped me along the way when kind of you hit the slump that sometimes startups do?
Yeah, I mean, from my experience, I will tell you right away, we're stuck, we're clear as a day and night. 4 years ago, we were not able to go to an AI tool and ask them to complete an engineering analysis. It could be mechanical stress, it could be electrical diagnostics, or it could be vice versa. Now we can. That's an extremely powerful tool. We didn't have it 4 years ago. That means now founders should sign up for difficult tasks, not easier ones. Everyone can build web page now. Okay, everyone knows that. But that means, can you build a smartphone? I think that's the next frontier, right? Because you have all the tools you have now that we would never have in the entire human civilization history, right? Now we do. I think the real founders should go and sign up for the most difficult the products could be, so they can go ahead and create real value. That will be my advice.
That's powerful. I read something recently which really kind of crystallized it for me. It compared the current technology shift from when engineers were first shifting from using assembly language and kind of low level, and they had to kind of work with compilers. And at first, it didn't always compile correctly. You had to like check your machine code. And it kind of were in a similar era as well, but that's really powerful advice. Being ambitious, taking a moonshot, and like not even kind of like fully embracing that, like that's how you kind of really build something impactful. And I feel that's something that you're doing here. I'll turn to you, Bikash. What have you learned in this startup journey?
Yeah, thanks for asking that question. I was thinking about it when I was there. So the biggest thing that I learned is, I'm like full stack engineer here. I just don't write code sitting in front of computer. Sometimes Eren wants me to, like do some rendering for one of our vehicle. He want to see, hey, what do you think? Like what this design gonna look like? I'm not a mechanical engineer, but still I have that technology already in place, and I'll use those AIs and I'll just build some renders and I can give it to Eren. So I become basically a mechanical engineer or designer, right? Sometimes I work in the website, like let's say, hey, our customers, like they are having bottleneck in this specific form. What's going on? So I go to the website and I try to fix that error. So this is another like full stack software engineering part that I'm covering.
Because you're doing sales, fundraising.
Exactly. Sales, fundraising, marketing. Our advertisement is not performing good. Like how should we increase ROI, right? So that's also the advantage working in a startup. Here, Olympian Motors, I'm basically a full stack engineer. Sales, marketing, fundraising, software engineering.
Full stack operator.
Exactly. Vehicle diagnostic guy. Like if we have a problem with one of our vehicle, okay, like, like that's the fun part of working in Olympian Motors. Also working alongside Eren, he's an amazing engineer. He can be a full stack developer by himself. He can be best UI, designer in the world. But it's still like I get chance to work with Eren, and I improve myself like better every day, better. Like that's the satisfying part of working in Olympian Motors, and I'm glad. Like you will never get to see this setup in Ford, like just sitting alongside Eren and talking about the company.
Exactly. Like for example, Vikar's point. So because we were able to touch different aspects, hardware, software, customer, and then we really identify a customer problem. We said, hey, mobile battery, we realized there is a need in the market, for example, in California, for mobile battery storage units, basically battery storage unit on wheels. And we also realized a lot of infrastructure, antenna on wheels, right? So this was something that we get into the Bikash and I, and along with the team, we dive into the rabbit holes and we dig into it. We jump from software to hardware, hardware to something, supply chain conversation. And then we suddenly come up with a really valuable product, and we said, hey, Olympus platform, mobile battery storage unit. So that's one of the, for example, projects right now we are supporting with our platform. So that's the real value. We are a verticalized, fully verticalized solution.
That's powerful because, like, from your experience, you've built a product, but also a company where you've personally kind of don't just kind of focus on one discipline. You think about kind of the network effects of the disciplines on each other, and you've built a culture that does that. And you've also built a culture of like true research and development. You're not saying like, I'm going to do research and development within these parameters. You're going to be like, you see, what does the market demand? And we'll chase it. It may not pan out, but we're going to invest there because eventually we'll figure out kind of the product lines that make sense, that resonate. And I think being modular, being extensible, I think is something really, really powerful, and truly a pleasure to have you both on the show here today. And I'm behind the scenes, and this clip is going to age very, very well. So I'm really just honored to be here, and thank you so much for your time.
It was our pleasure. And now it's your time to take a test drive our vehicles. Shall we do that?
Let's do it.
Excellent. Let's do it.